So when you came out to your parents, can you say that there's something that has changed between your relationship to them before and after you came out?
Yeah, I mean, even as, I mean, I have the privilege of looking back over 20 years, and the first few years were challenging. You know, I won't lie, they were very challenging. I was very, I don't know, I was kind of stubborn and
Okay.
you know, it was just all about me and it wasn't about them. And it was and it wasn't. Like, I think it was just more about me, and it's just like, how come you're not being here more for me, and how come you don't know all this stuff, and how come, and we look to our parents for knowledge, right? And on this particular topic, sometimes that's not going to happen. So you have to take the independent high road and learn the journey on your own, and which is totally fine. But I mean, even in my best case scenario, which I honestly, in comparison to most other people that I know back then when we came out, I had it really good. I mean, I wasn't asked to leave my home. I was loved unconditionally. I was supported. We worked through it. You know, we had a lot to learn together. And, you know, it took about a good 10 years for my parents to be the type of people who now have like pride tattoos, who have who would be more than happy to march in a parade, who would wear the button, who would stand up for you in public if need be, and with proof, you know, and that takes time. You have to, it's curated within them, because there is a point in your life as a parent, and I can only say this from my parents' perspective because I don't have any children, but you know, I can tell you so many stories where my parents were faced with things at work and they're like, you know, saying bad names about gay people. There's gonna be a point where they will break and they will say, wait a second, my son is gay and I don't want you talking about this because I'm proud of my kid. So those days do come, people. It's just, don't expect them to happen overnight. It's not part of the human condition to roll that easily sometimes, especially if the parents are not accustomed to these things. So,
you know, sometimes that feeling of not coming out, the fear, sometimes causes you the thinking of committing suicide, right?
Yes.
I mean, young people nowadays are very vulnerable with that. Like, they don't know how to do it, and they will just end up like losing their lives, and you will just find a note that they're doing that because they can tell their family that,
or they won't say anything at all.
Yes. So what can you say, like maybe to raise their
esteem, maybe?
Esteem,
yeah. That's a huge question, and you know, if we're talking about, you know, taking your own life and things like that, there is nothing in this world that is worth taking your life for. When it comes to this, there really isn't. You deserve to live. You were born this way. The old adage that it's a lifestyle choice is absolutely unacceptable. Nobody necessarily would choose to go down a road that is 10,000 times harder than another one. It would be much healthier for you to get it off your chest as opposed to losing your life. Your life's worth is worth more than not coming out. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, I'll kind of go back to what I said earlier. There's way too much pressure for people to come out of the closet when it's not the right time for them. You know, you might have a girlfriend or a guy friend who's like, oh my God, just do it. You know what? Do it when it's right for you, because the worst thing to do is to feel unprepared or vulnerable even more. You know, granted, at the same time, don't let it go so long that you're never gonna do it, because you deserve to live a free, independent, and loving life. this is the only life you have. Like you're not gonna have another one. You might as well make the best of it and feel free as best as you can and have the most success you can in your life with all the right people loving you. So, but at the end of the day, you know, there's never a good time at the same time. So it's a fine balance. You have to kind of balance that between things. So yeah.
So that conversation was really educational for me, and there's a lot of questions going on in my mind right now, but one thing that I think I learned was family is really everything, right? Like, just like what you've said, it's not going to be accepted overnight. Like your parents took like a good 10 years for them to really
to be the pros,
yes, kind of thing, right? So like what's important is the people who loves you and who knows you well, which is technically your family. No matter what other people thinks, as long as your family knows who you are, that's what's important, because the other people will judge you, stuff like that, but at the end of the day, if you fell down, if you have your success, you won't worry about them, because it's going to be your family that's going to be on your back all the time.
Yeah, and that ties in with something else really quickly. Like, as I live my life, and there's only few people in this world that will ever totally 100% always have your back, and that's your family. If they deserve you and you deserve them. At the end of the day, you oftentimes know what's right and what you should do and shouldn't do. The biggest cry of the heart would be to lose your life over something like this. So,
yeah. One thing more that just hit me is like what you were saying, that when the time is right, you come out kind of thing, right? Like, you would never know how your family would react.
No.
It just hit me, the Schitt's Creek series on Netflix. If you guys, it's going to be a spoiler alert for you guys.
Such a good
series. So there's this scene, like the character is going to come out, and he doesn't know how to, and he didn't know that they already know it, and they accepted who their son is. So it will just really surprise you. So you would never know how they're going to take it.
Right.
It might turn out good, it might turn out bad, but at the end of the day, it's a process.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, they're going to accept who you are, right?
Yeah. If they're a loving, unconditional family, absolutely. There's no question about that. You know, there's just no question.
Thank you so much for your time and for sharing this knowledge and sharing this shirt. So as you can see, guys, we are wearing the Canadian Pride wear. So this is a apparel of Chris himself. So if you want to
check it out even, or learn a little bit more about who I am, it's at worldapparel.com. And as it implies, World Apparel, I definitely am going to start some different series of other countries and some classy and vintage kind of logos and things like that to represent your pride.
So at the end of the day, it's just going to be loving parents, loving family, and no hate, just love, because we're all human beings, regardless what race, what country you are in, and what sexual orientation you have. So I hope you've learned something, guys, and we hope to see you soon for our next series, maybe. And thank you so much. Please do subscribe on my channel and Chris' channel on YouTube too. So we're going to put the link as well, so that you check his videos as well. He has a series going on about his another journey, and if you want to check that out, just visit his YouTube channel and subscribe, and see what his story is. So once again, thank you so much, and I hope to see you again next time. Thank you. Bye bye.
Peace.